Alright guys, so welcome to another video and we are talking about the Redmi K20 Pro. Remember recently we did install and preview for this particular ROM. Yes, we are talking about Derpfest. Since then I've been using it, I've ran the benchmarks, tried a lot of gaming, and we are here with a complete review. So before we get into the details, if you haven't already, please subscribe because it doesn't cost you anything and it really motivates us to make amazing content like this. Now without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to PhoneOps. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. So let's see what we quickly have over here. We have Derpfest Shinju Android 12L. The update is for 27th of April 2022. Now you need to use one of the recommended recoveries. The ROM comes with G apps and it's based on OSS vendor and Soviet Star kernel. Use the latest Android 11 or Android R firmware. And as said earlier, please use one of the recommended recoveries. Now, this is not a flashing video, so we're going to talk about the complete review. Now, I have been saying this a lot of times in the past that whenever Soviet Star comes into the picture, that ROM 90% of the times does perform better, and same is the case with Derpfest. Now, this review is not going to be focusing only on the performance part because Derpfest is a custom ROM which does have a ton of customization. So that is a very important aspect what we are going to look at as well. Now, the moment you boot into the home screen of this particular ROM, you will see that we have these beautiful Derpfest wallpapers of this owl, which looks really nice in my opinion. You have a very clean user interface, just like any other custom ROMs. And I have installed quite a lot of applications because I wanted to test this as a daily driver and see how it goes. And the performance has been pretty impressive. Now, you can see that there is a Google search bar at the bottom, a few docked icons at the bottom. You have your Android 12 or Android L quick tiles available over here. If you swipe to the left, you do have your Google feed, which works like a charm. That is a very good thing. Remember, this is a 60 Hz display that we are talking about, although this is a very beautiful AMOLED display. But even on 60 Hz, this is doing a really smooth and great job. Ever so smooth that even when you're scrolling, if you go to the home screen, the animation is very fluid. Now, you do have a ton of quick tiles available over here, right? You have torch and all the basic quick tiles. You do have things like caffeine available, color inversion, ambient display on or off. You do have a built-in compass, which is really useful in my opinion. Now, the screen recorder does have internal and external audio and a lot of other options as well. Show stop dot, lower quality, bigger file size limit, skip timer. And even when recording the screen, you will not have any major stutters or jitters. So this is a very focused and very smooth experience. If you look at the top over here, you do have battery estimates. You do have an icon for your Wi-Fi calling, which is working absolutely fine. You do have your brightness slider, which works like a charm. And you do have the shortcut for your power menu and things like those. Now, everything said and done, this is a pretty solid experience is what I would say. And the apps as well are very minimalistic and very basic. The camera application included in this particular ROM is the very basic camera application. It doesn't come with Gcam or anything else, but that's fine. You can always install a Gcam of your choice. Now let's quickly dive into settings and see what all this beautiful ROM has to offer. So if you go to About Phone and you go to the Android version, it specifically says Android 12L, which is a good thing. You do have the Derpfest logo over here. You do have the changelog shortcut over here. The name of the maintainer, April security patch, and the kernel is of course the latest Soviet Star kernel. SE Linux status is enforcing. Now, as far as security is concerned, if you go to the Play Store settings, you will see that the device is certified. Widevine L1 is present and that works okay. So not only you can use this as a daily driver, you can also watch your HD content with all the fun, and you can also use banking applications, so you would not have any issues with your banking apps as well. Now, all that taken care of, two important aspects are still pending for this particular ROM. One is the performance numbers and two is the customization menu. Now, if you go to things like network and internet connected devices, apps, all these things will be, very similar because, hey, Android 12L on almost all the custom ROMs. But the customization menu is where a lot of these ROMs separate or, they diversify their interests, and Derpfest is doing a hell of a good job because first of all, the customization menu is organized in a very subtle way. It's very nice and I like the way it is organized. Okay, so you have things like battery settings, as you can see, battery style, battery percentage, toggle colorful battery icon, hide battery bar, so you can enable the battery bar at the top, custom charging color. So a lot of customization here, including charging animation, right? Now you then have carrier label, you can enable that, clock and date settings, a lot of customization there. You can enable or disable a lot of status bar items. You do have options like traffic indicators available. Then you have miscellaneous options. You can include a Derpfest logo over here. You can have colored icons, Bluetooth battery status, different VoLTE and voice over Wi-Fi icons. So these things are available and that's good. Now moving on, over here you do have customization for your notifications, which is a good thing. Customization for call connect, call waiting and stuff like that. Under quick settings, you do have smart pull down, as you can see. So these options are not only present, but they work absolutely fine. Even if you disable the battery estimates, let's see here. Let's disable this, right? So you don't have battery estimates here, enable them. And in some time you will start getting the battery estimates. So not only these options are very, very interesting, but they work absolutely fine as well. So as you can see, look at this animation, right? So moving on, we have customization for quick settings. Then we have lock screen shortcuts. You have lock screen UI, so you can enable or disable the ripple effect. And let's see what we have. Celsius, screen off is CRT, show media art, lock screen UI, ambient and always on display. You can go ahead and keep it on, right? Okay, now the last menu over here does have some battery charging light options, monet customization, pulse customization, nav bar pulse and stuff like that. So we are not using the nav bar here. Navigation bar, general settings, unlimited Google photo storage. That is a option available over here which you can enable or disable. Burn-in protection, I really don't know how much this makes a difference, but this is really, really nice. If you're using a nav bar, you can enable the burn-in protection feature and it will make sure that your old device, which is the K20 Pro or Mi 90 Pro, doesn't have screen burning. Because remember, if you damage the display on this particular phone, the cost of the display will be as good as the price of the phone. So be really careful with your display and stuff like that. Anyway, so that's everything about the customization and it has been working flawlessly for me. You can see that I have a SIM card in there. I've tried making calls and all the other features and they seem to be working absolutely okay. So a big thumbs up to Derpfest team. Now let's go ahead and talk about the performance part. Of course, Google Unlimited Photo Storage is available. So we'll look at the CPU throttle test first. Now, as you can see over here, CPU throttled to 92% of its max performance and the average was 181,094 GIPS, which is a splendid performing number. And the max was 191,028 GIPS. This is in the territory of the Snapdragon 860 on the Poco X3 Pro. Now, moving on, if you actually go to Geekbench over here, let's have a look at the single core score and the multi-core score. 750 single core, 2598 multi-core, splendid scores once again. Even if you go to Antutu benchmark over here, 556, 291. Now remember, 560,000 is what the Poco X3 Pro scores on the stock ROM. So you're getting very close to the Poco X3 Pro level of performance on your 2.5-year-old K20 Pro. And not only that, you're getting very decent battery backup as well. As you can see, it's on 20% right now. I don't really have all the details over here for some reason, but I've been using it for more than 24 hours. I've had at least 5 to 5.5 hours of screen on time, in which there was 1 hour of BGMI. And let me tell you, with Soviet Star in the latest Derpfest, BGMI is working flawlessly. I've not had any major frame drops or anything of that sort. Now, next review onwards, I can actually go ahead and show you, say, about 2 minutes of gameplay by recording the screen. Let me know in the comment section. But do remember, the reviews are already 8 to 10 minutes long. And if I put in 1 to 2 minutes of gameplay, the video will be 12 to 13 minutes long. So I am trying to keep these videos as compact as possible. But if you really want to see the gameplay with the FPS meter, I'll probably make a gaming review. Let me know, dedicated gaming review or include a 2-minute clip in the complete review as well. So all in all, the charging speed on this is pretty decent. 27-watt chargers work fine. The battery backup is pretty rock solid. Performance is great. Security issues are not there. If you install a proper Gcam, you can have a very good experience with Derpfest. So a daily driver, a lot of customization and decent performance on a 2-year-old device is what the latest update of Derpfest will provide you for the Redmi K20 Pro. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this video. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at PhoneOps. Keep smiling. Take care. Goodbye.